Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is currently, where's my phone? I'm like looking for my phone. It's currently 1:06 a.m. on Tuesday, going into Wednesday morning. Let me tell you what just happened, okay? So Alex is in bed and he's like looking at Instagram stories and stuff like that, and he's getting ready like any minute to go to bed. And so I was laying there with him and he was showing me all these cute like animal videos and stuff. And so I said, okay, it's so hot in our bedroom right now, so I was like, I'm gonna go vlog because I'm hanging out with Caroline tomorrow. And so I wanted to have my vlog ready to go for tomorrow, so I would have that piece of it done. Plus it's supposed to be really, really hot out here again and tomorrow, so I was like, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to sit on the porch and vlog tomorrow afternoon or evening. So I went and just got a water because just filled my thing up with water and all that kind of stuff, and brought my camera and everything out here. And so I was coming out here the last time just to sit, and I had just my water in my hand, and I have these plastic Birkenstocks that I wear everywhere. These are like the ones that I wear around the house that are like red and black and white. Most of the ones that I wear are just like plain colors, like black and gray, and I have a couple different pairs of blue ones. Well, when I was coming down and I stepped off the step, when I landed, I like landed with my foot like at an angle, and it like slipped out of the sandal and I fell on the ground. I mean, to the point where I was like yelling, like, ow, ow. And Alex came running down the stairs and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I landed, it was weird how I landed. I landed like with my foot beneath me and like on one knee, and then I like turned over, and I was like, I think I like scraped up my knee. My knee's not scraped up, but my foot is really, really hurting. It wasn't at first, but now that I've kind of sat out here for a couple minutes, because I just did my prayers and meditations, it's like really, really hurting. So I'm hoping that I did not hurt my foot. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, the danger of wearing sandals. But I never really do like slip in them or anything. So how are you guys doing? I don't know. Let me pull you guys a little closer so you can see me. I don't know how long I'm gonna vlog for tonight, because I do want to watch I think I have the final episode and part of the third episode of The Unsolved Murder of Beverly Lynn Smith, because I watched part of it last night. But it's really, really warm outside tonight, let me just tell you. It's got to be in the 80s. There's no way. Oh, it says it's 74. It doesn't feel like 74. I mean, it feels like upper 80s, and there's no breeze coming this way whatsoever. There's no breeze, there's no air. It's just standing still tonight, like summer standing still. Oh, my foot is killing me. Just like summer standing still, and it's really, really warm. We don't really often get like a breeze up our walkway. Sometimes we do if it's really windy, but like just if there's just like a nice breeze out, very rarely. Sitting in that chair sometimes, but sitting in this chair, which is why I typically sit over there. But not very often do we get just like a nice breeze, you know? So even if we open like the upstairs window, like it's just static air, you know, which is why we always like have a fan going. But, well, that's not one of the only reasons, but for many reasons we have a fan going. But, and in our house, like in the summer, the basement is ice cold and the main floor is pretty good temperature. We keep it at about 70. But the upstairs, it gets cool a little bit. Like it's cool enough to be able to sleep. But like even Alex, he said it is really warm up here tonight. And so I was just laying there in the bed with the fan on me. I was just like letting it spread out all over me. So today was Alex's birthday, and his 38th. Happy birthday to Alex. This water tastes so good. So many of you already said it in the comment section from yesterday, so thank you. And our plan had been to get up and go to the pool for the whole day. Like, well, I had my CAT scan this morning, but that was just like, I got there at 10:45 and I was out of there like at 11:05 or something like that. And then I had him run me to CVS, which was right by there, because I wanted to get some sunscreen. And then we went through Starbucks to get coffee. Well, I wanted coffee. And then we came home, and he like put a whole cooler together and everything. And I was putting my bathing suit on and making the bed. And so I said, well, why don't you just head down there? There was like nobody at the pool when we drove by. And so I said, well, why don't you just head down there, and then you can get the chairs and the table and whatever that you want. It was still early at that point. It was like 11:40, 11:45, something like that. And so I said, why don't you just head over there, and I'm going to put my bathing suit on and make the bed. Well, I don't even think I told him I was going to make the bed, but I said, I'll just be right down, you know, as soon as I get ready. I already have my bag and stuff together. So I put my bathing suit on and I made the bed. And by the time that I was like getting ready, I was like putting my AirPods in to walk up there, because I was going to play some music while I was walking up there, even though it's literally like a 2-minute walk. He was already coming back in through the front door, and I go, what's wrong? And he was like, the pool's closed. And I go, what do you mean the pool's closed? And he said, there's a sign in the pool that said, due to mechanical issues, the pool is closed. So they sent out like a statement that said that you couldn't even dip your toe in it, that you shouldn't even put your feet in it, and all this kind of stuff, that due to mechanical issues, it was some pump or something that they needed to replace, that the pool was closed until further notice. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, the one day Alex has off, it was absolutely beautiful outside. It was in the 90s. I mean, it was a perfect day for the pool. And he doesn't get to go to the pool that much anyway, you know, because he has to work. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, the one day we get to go to the pool. I mean, it's not supposed to be, well, Thursday it's supposed to be nice, but I have a doctor's appointment, so I can't go to the pool on Thursday. And then, I mean, I can, but I would have to get up and go before, and then, you know, or after, and just really rush it. So anyway, and then tomorrow, Caroline and I were going to go to the pool, but it's supposed to be partly cloudy with a possible thunderstorm. So depending on the weather, I guess we'll decide if we're going to go to the pool or not tomorrow. If not, we'll just go to brunch. So I was like, so when Alex came in, he was like fine with it. He was like, well, we'll just figure out something else to do. Don't even worry about it, babe. Maybe we'll go somewhere else to a pool or whatever. So I was like, well, I want to see what it says, because he told me about the sign on the gate. So I walked all the way down to the pool, and it said, pool's closed until further notice. Exactly what he had told me. And so when I was walking by, Alex's friend, Sarah, his best friend, she was pulling in, and I said, are you going to the pool with us? Well, she said, is it open? And I said, no, because he must have just told her that it was closed. And so I said, no, but I wonder if we can just go in there and lay out. Alex isn't big about getting in the pool anyway, so he doesn't really care but just to have some place to lay out at, you know, that we could lay out on our back patio, but it just feels different, you know. And I said, are you going to go to the pool with us? And she goes, well, I really just came to say hi. So she goes, I don't know. So anyway, she came in, and she stayed for what we were sitting there talking, and then Alex was showing her the stuff that we had bought, like shopping and stuff yesterday, and they were up in the bedroom, and she was like laying on the bed and whatever. And so I said he was gonna maybe go to his friend's dad's house to like go to the pool, but she wasn't like calling back. And so I said, are we gonna do that? Are you gonna do that? Because I was gonna go and then just like Uber back, because he was gonna go from there to like help set up. And I said, are we going to do... He's like, I haven't heard back from her yet. So he was like, we could just go to brunch. So Sarah and Alex and I went to Cafe Patashu and had brunch, and it was really fun. And so you get to hear about somebody else's brunch, because Sarah was there too. So I got the omelet you can't refuse. Take out the bacon, add horseradish, and add herb cream cheese. I had potatoes, and I also had an everything bagel toasted with cream cheese on it. I ate half my bagel. I ate almost all of my potatoes and my omelet. I don't know why I was so hungry today, but I really was. And I did not get orange juice. I just had water and coffee. Or did I have orange juice? Maybe I did have orange juice. I don't remember. And then, it seems like it was so long ago. And then Alex had a bowl of the tomato basil soup. And I think I say tomato artichoke, but it's tomato, is it tomato basil? No, it's not tomato artichoke, it's tomato basil. And what is it? Something artichoke that he gets. But anyway, tomato basil soup with tons of croutons. And then he had the Cuban, which was like rice and eggs. You know, I've always talked about this, and black beans and whatever. He actually did not have coffee today. He had a little champagne that came in like a little small flute for his birthday. And then Sarah had the omelet of the day, which was chorizo, red onion, black beans, and something else. And she said it was like incredible. Oh, and pepper jack cheese. And she said it was incredible. And then she had cinnamon toast. Cafe Pas de Choux cinnamon toast. My foot hurts so bad, you guys. Cafe Pas de Choux cinnamon toast is some of the best cinnamon toast I've ever had in my entire life. And they didn't used to do this, but now they're bringing it like in this little like silver like tray thing. And so it's like 4 slices in a little tray. It's really cool. It's really nice to, I'm going to talk about this today. I haven't talked about this ever in a vlog, but I asked her if she minded me talking about it. So I'm going to talk about Sarah today in my vlog, because it's been, well, for her, probably the biggest thing that she's ever gone through in her entire life. But when I say to you guys that we have stuff going on, that's not my story to tell, or, you know, we're very concerned or worried about other people in our lives, like Sarah has been that person in our life, has been one of those people in our lives for a very long time, with good things now happening. So I want to talk about that in a second. And I asked her, I said, do you care if I talk about it? And she was like, no. She was like, but she told me something she wanted me to say. So and she's like, I'll sit down and do a video with you if you want me to about it. So I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, so then we came back, and oh no, Sarah left from there and went home because she had some appointments that she had to run to. And then Alex and I came home, and then at that point he was going to leave the house at like 4:30 to get to his friend's house to help like set up, because they were going to do this huge like movie thing outside. It actually turned out super cool. It was really neat. And if you follow me on Instagram, or you follow Alex on Instagram, you saw like, because we both posted stuff about it. It was really neat. But anyway, so we got back here at about, well, when we left Pas de Choux, it was 2:30, because I said to him, this is funny because we're leaving when we usually get here. So we got home about 2:40, 2:45. And there's the planes. And I don't really remember what I did. Just a whole lot of nothing. I sat on the front porch for a little bit and sunned my feet, took my sandals off and put sunned. That sounds like an old person. I am an old person. Tanned my feet a little bit. It was so unbelievably hot today that to eat, oh, I know what I did. I know I should have waited until the nighttime, but I watered my ferns in the back patio because they were so thirsty. I was like, and it's hard to see out there at night unless you have like the motion sensor lights on or the back patio lights. I was like, I'm just gonna, like, and I didn't want to bother my neighbors at night. I was like, I'm gonna water the ferns during the day. Plus we use our neighbor's hose because our nozzle doesn't work or something. So it's like stuck. So they let us use their hose. So I watered the hell out of these ferns. I was trying to get Boo Radley to drink out of the hose, but he wouldn't do it. He didn't understand what I was trying to get him to do. I was like, Boo Radley, do you want a drink? Here you go. He just kept on walking away from the hose. It was the cutest thing though. But anyway, so then I came inside. Alex and Boo Radley, well, once I like was done with everything, Boo Radley was upstairs with Alex. And so I went upstairs. Alex was watching. Okay, so I don't know what channel he follows on TikTok or channel or whatever you would call it, account. But it's one that shows like clips of Friends, the TV show reruns, but they're in order of like, so like there might be like 10 clips from one show and he'll just watch them like in order. Like he's watching this. I'm like, I don't know why you don't just watch Friends. So he just like, and he just sits there and laughs and laughs and laughs. He loves to watch these. It drives me crazy personally, okay? Because A, I don't like Friends, and B, I think maybe if I watched it, so when Alex and I went out to San Diego a couple years ago, I watched it because Alex's brother Fufu really likes it too. And so Fufu was like, Peter, you've never seen Friends. I was like, I mean, I've seen episodes here and there, but I like just, it's not my show. And he's like, you've got to watch it from the very beginning. And so is it still on Netflix? Because I started watching it at that time and I got like 3 or 4 episodes in and I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. It just is not my thing. But maybe I should start watching that. Let's see. But it was on Netflix at that time, and then it was like, I feel like they took it off. Yeah, it's not on anymore. In fact, if you search Friends, the first show that comes up is called Friends from College, and then the second show is Seinfeld. But all the seasons were on Netflix at one point. I don't know, you could probably buy them or something, right? Somebody was saying in the comment section is that this God's favorite idiot, what is this? Web of make-believe, death, lies, and the internet. I think there were some like YouTubers like that were on that. What is this? You don't know me. Oh, this looks good. It's only 4 episodes. You don't know me. Is it like a British show? Somebody was telling me about Spiderhead too. This doesn't look like my kind of show. Okay, before I get into the rest of my day, I must say this. I have been asked so many times in so many comment sections of this vlog what I think of the documentary Our Father and Have I Seen It? Okay, so I do not consider Our Father a TV show, which is why it's not on my list of seen TV shows, but I put it on there because I wanted to make sure that anytime that, you know what I feel like right now is like, if you watch that documentary Heaven's Gate, when that Heaven's Gate guy, who I don't look anything like, I don't think, but anyway, he's like front and center and he's like talking, he's like, hi, Haley's comment is coming back, and anyway, I feel like that guy, but so I consider it like a documentary movie. I don't consider it like a TV show, which is why, like, whenever I'm talking about TV shows I've seen, I never include it in there because I just don't think of it that way. I think of it as like a movie, right? Like us watching the newest James Bond or whatever. I don't think of it as like a TV show. So, yes, I watched it. I actually, if you guys want to know the absolute truth, I had seen so many people post about it, people that I knew, people that were like YouTubers that were like, I can't wait till this documentary comes out. And so I knew exactly when it was coming out. And I knew that it was coming out at like, well, like 12 a.m. Pacific time, at like 3 a.m. like Indianapolis time. I stayed up till 3 a.m. that night and I watched the whole thing. Like, sat out here and watched it, the whole 2 hours of it. The city that it takes place, Zionsville, is probably, actually, the couple that we went and had the barbecue with on, what was that, Saturday night, they live in Zionsville. Zionsville is about 20 minutes from us. I used to vlog driving around Zionsville. It's the cute little cobblestone streets. It's a really cute area. It's a suburb of Indianapolis. It's a very, I would say, well-to-do suburb of Indianapolis. When you look at the map of where this doctor, like, the kids lived, it's almost kind of like I'm the focal point, and it's like people all around me on the north side. It's very interesting. I can't believe that especially, like, I can't believe that I hadn't heard about this before, because Angela Ganote, who is, like, the newscaster that's in it and things like that, like, I've met her at events. Like, I know, like, I don't know her, but, like, I know of her. Like, she's a pretty famous person here in town, like, and especially, like, working with the news and things like that. So, like, that whole part was very interesting to me. The fact that they couldn't get him on anything, you know, I mean, these women, let's just call it what it was. It was, you know, the R word. And, you know, YouTube doesn't like when you say words like that, but that's what it was. And you can't convince me otherwise. And I just felt so... the arrogance and the cockiness that came from this man, that had basically, like... I don't know, it was interesting to me to watch, to see the kids' responses to it. You know, it's like, and some of the parents, like, I just can't imagine, I just can't believe that they weren't more furious than they were. Like, it's a really big deal. Huge deal. Huge. And I have to tell you, living in Indianapolis, this is not like a story that you hear a lot about. Okay, the Herb Baumeister serial killer, like, everybody in Indianapolis knows about that. I'm trying to think about, like, other things that have happened here that, like, everybody in Indianapolis knows about. Like, if you ask somebody, like, it's a big situation, that people would be like, oh yeah, like, I know, you know. Why can't I think of anything right now? That's the sad part of it. But I had never heard of this story before. And as a person that loves, like, true crime and all that kind of stuff, I do think, oh, the Delphi murders, everybody in Indianapolis has heard of the Delphi murders. I was just talking about that at the pool the other day with some people. So it's like, you know, everybody knows these big stories. So it was kind of surprising to me that I didn't know anything about this case before I saw the trailer for the documentary. I thought the documentary was somewhat boring, honestly. I wasn't blown away by it. I was more blown away by the facts of it. I thought the documentary itself could have been more interestingly done. But a lot of the dramatization of it kind of got overboard with me, but other than that, I thought it was well done. I mean, did I say I didn't think it was well done? I thought it was kind of boring in some parts, honestly. Like, I was really, like, excited for this. I just, you know, I mean, well, justice isn't always, you know, gripping, I guess, but the sad part about it was that, like, I mean, he basically got away with it. I don't know, it was sad to me. So anyway, that's what I think about Our Father, the documentary. I definitely think it's a must-see kind of thing. I mean, it's not that boring. I mean, the thing that's crazy to me was, like, oh my god, you guys, my foot. The numbers, when they would keep on, like, they would spin, you know, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm not ruining anything for you to see the show. It's about, basically what it's about is it's on Netflix. It's called Our Father. It's about a doctor that lives here in Indianapolis, and he was impregnating patients with his own semen. And some women that couldn't get pregnant, or with their husbands couldn't. I mean, it just, there was no rhyme or reason for why he was doing what he was doing. And so, and then the weird part was, like, when they started talking about, like, this religious affiliation that it was tied to, and all this kind of, like, thinking, and it just was too much. It was like, and kind of this, like, kind of Aryan kind of idea, you know. Very, very scary stuff. Very scary stuff. And when he was like, you're gonna ruin my marriage, and you're gonna ruin, I'm like, you know, like, do you even see these people as human beings? You know, that. So anyway, so that's what I thought about Our Father. And maybe it was because I was so excited to see it, and I had all these high expectations for it, and just kind of, you know, usually, like, when I go into a show and I don't know anything about it is when I, like, absolutely love it. So yeah, so that was that show, and, like, right now I'm watching the Beverly Lynn Smith show, The Unsolved Murder of Beverly Lynn Smith, which is so weird, and then I'm going to start watching The Old Man with Jeff Bridges, and then there's only 2 episodes out, and the third one's coming out this week. So I don't know, I'm going to pick up something else that I might watch. Tonight at the movie night, we watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Alex said that a TV show was made about it, so I might watch that. I need to actually put that on my list. And also, One of Us is Lying. I need to... Alex and I started that. And then we only got like 2 episodes in. One. And I really liked it. I read the book by Karen McManus. And I know what you did last. That would be kind of a fun summer show to watch outside, don't you think? And Scream. I started Scream and I never ended up watching it. And I don't think any of those shows got renewed, did they? I've got 29 shows to watch this summer. Anyway, I am enjoying watching my shows. So Alex and I laid down, we took a nap. He was like watching his... I was trying to fall asleep and he was like watching the Friends clips, and then I must have tuned it out somehow in my head. I don't know how. It was Ross and whoever, I don't know, talking about that they'll always leave like a door open to their relationship, and I just kept on thinking of it. But we have 2 friends of ours that are a couple. It was our friends that visited like last fall, and they went to New York City, and like my one friend, he posts on Instagram and Facebook like literally every 2 seconds, and I always like watch it. I mean, I live vicariously through his Instagram stories, and they were just in New York City, and I had this like super intense dream that we were in New York City too, and he like wanted us to go see, it was some art museum, this Superman presentation. Like he wanted us to go see something about Superman, and I was like, Demi, like I'm not interested. He's like, oh no, I heard it was like great. He always like when he lived here, he always wanted us to like go and do these, like he had an itinerary of these things that we would do. And I always joke with him about it still to this day. But anyway, okay, so I laid down, I set my alarm, and I was like, I'm just going to take a nap till like 5:30. Alex was leaving till 4:30. Or leaving at 4:30. So Alex got up, and at one point, like I turned over, and he was dead asleep, and had plugged his phone in. So he slept until like 4:30 when he was supposed to leave, and he got up and he started getting ready, and then he went to his friend's house. And then I just kind of hung out here, and then I took a shower and got ready and stuff, and then Sarah came and picked me up. And then we went out there. Alex's friend lives like way out in the middle of nowhere, and a really cute house, super cute house in this cute neighborhood. And so we picked up 3 large bags of ice, and then we went out there, and it was just really cute. Like, first of all, her house is adorable, and it's really nice. But she has a huge backyard and really nice setup, and so she had it, like, this whole area that was set up that was, like, out. It reminded me of my mom when I was a kid, and it was, like, Alex's movie night something, and it was, like, pop and candy, and then they had little bags so you could put like candy in it, and they had all kinds of cans of Coke and stuff. They had champagne and Trulies and those and stuff too, but most people weren't even really drinking. Like Alex didn't even like really drink. And then so it was fun. And then Alex ordered like a bunch of pizzas from this local pizza place and breadsticks, and then they had all this popcorn. They had this like, it wasn't like caramel popcorn, I don't know how to, it was like drizzled with something flavor, but it was like red, white, and blue. It was really good. And but it was kind of like caramel. It tasted a little bit like that, but more just like sugar. And so yeah, it was really fun. And then they had this huge screen, and Alex had taken our projector over, and we watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was Alex and I, and then Sarah, his best friend, and then there was Carlos, Liliana, and the kids, Alex's mom, and then like 5 friends of Alex's. It was so laid back, and it was so nice. And I was really worried about being out in the heat because it was like 93 when we were going over there, and the whole backyard was like in the shade, and it just was like so nice. It really wasn't like hot at all. And actually out there, because her backyard is like a field, and it's like a cornfield, and then it's like this little small cornfield, and then on the other side of it is like a baseball field. So there was like a breeze coming through, and it was really nice. It was fun. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. It was so funny because I like looked up to see what year it came out in, and it came out in 1997. I remember going to see it in the movie theater with my very first boyfriend, that like, you know, the boyfriends that I count like after I got sober. I was 25 when I Know What You Did Last Summer came out. That is so surreal to me, you guys. It came out in 1997. Isn't that weird? I was like sitting there watching it, and I was like, okay, the battery stopped. And then I was trying to fix it because it seemed like it was out of focus, but maybe not. But anyway, I was saying that, like, watching it, I could remember, and I've seen it, you know, many times since then. But I used to work out, like, when I lived in this apartment complex. I can remember it would be like the movie that would be playing, like, on some, I don't know, random channel, like Chicago or USA or something like that. And so whenever I was working out, it was always like on in the background, and I would watch it while I was running on the treadmill or the stair step or whatever. But anyway, because I always remember being in the gym at the same time that Ryan Phillippe, or however you pronounce his name, was like in the gym scene. Do you guys remember the gym scene from that movie? But anyway, I can still remember going to the movie theater and seeing that movie with my very first boyfriend, which would have been right because he and I started dating when I was 23 and a half. And that movie came out when I was 25. So, yeah, that would totally make sense. But anyway, we had a great time. It was kind of like, at one point, it was just like mass exodus. Like, everybody just kind of like got up and left. And we, like I said, we didn't, did I say this already? But we didn't start the movie until late because Alex like wanted to wait until it was like pitch black to like watch the movie. So, but it was really fun. It was really good. And so then there was just like Alex and I and his mom and Sarah and like two other friends, and we were like helping clean up, and so we got everything cleaned up, and then I was going to ride back with Sarah since she had come with me, and then Alex was just going to come home afterwards, like after everything was completely done. He got home like 10 minutes after I did. But anyway, so I drove home with Sarah, and it's just so nice to do stuff with her again and see her. And, you know, so Alex has been friends with Sarah since high school, and all through college. They lived together in college. It was like 5 of them in the house. And after college, you know, they've been like diehard good Judys through and through. And so then the first year that Alex and I were together, Sarah moved to Los Angeles, and it had kind of like been this dream of hers forever. And so anyway, Sarah moved back here I asked her tonight, I said, how long have you been back? And she was like, almost like 2.5 years. So Sarah moved back here about 2.5 years ago, and I've never talked about why in a vlog or any video, and didn't feel like it was my place to say, didn't feel like it was my place to talk about, but it's been a huge part of Sarah's life, obviously, and just like everybody around Sarah. So she said I could tell you guys. So Sarah, for many, many years, I would say probably 3.5 years before she moved back here, she started having a lot of really, like, kind of like, and Sarah's like really pretty healthy, you know, other than maybe having a White Claw every once in a blue moon back in the day or whatever. She, you know, like, she eats healthy, she exercises, she's like a healthy person. So she started having a lot of really, she would have to talk about it in a video because I don't know the exact history. I just know from, you know, having been a friend of hers through all of it, and Alex being her best friend. And I can remember, you know, that there were times that like Alex was like really, really scared. And just even the last 6 months. And Sarah was, and everybody was, and it just was, you know, she is one of the strongest people that I know. Sarah is hands down one of the strongest people that I've ever met in my entire life. One of the best friends, if not the best friend that to Alex, most loyal friend, and she has been a fantastic friend to me. And so several years before she moved back here, she started having a lot of medical problems that they couldn't really figure out. And Sarah went everywhere. She went to, they were severe medical problems that were really having to do with her lungs. And she went to, like Mayo Clinic and all these places, and they really couldn't figure anything out. And she came here and she went to the med center here, and it was like they could never really give her any kind of specific diagnosis. They would say it was this, and then they would say it was that, and then they would say try alternative medicine, and she would try these things, and she was just so frustrated with it. And then they found out that she had a severe case, or a severe type of pulmonary hypertension, and it was affecting both of her lungs. And she had to be on oxygen. So for about the last year and a half, she's been like on oxygen, like at home, and she wouldn't go anywhere. She couldn't really go anywhere, especially with COVID, because it was so dangerous, and she's just such a trooper. She moved back here and got a house because she wanted to be closer to her mom and her stepdad and people that could help her and her friends like Alex. And she's got other really close friends that are here in town. And so she wanted to be at her home base, which is why she moved back here, to kind of pursue further whatever. She didn't know what was going to happen. And so I remember last summer her telling us that she really didn't have any alternative other than pursuing a lung transplant at that point. And she was really, really terrified of that. She was really scared. Because, the getting on a wait list is really difficult, and everything that goes along with that. And there's so much, like, for me to even include in a vlog, and I'm not the person to talk to about it because I'm not the expert in it, and I haven't gone through any of this, and she is. And if you guys ever want her on a video, she said she would be more than willing to talk about it in a video. So Sarah decided that she was like, even though I'm terrified because prognosis isn't great, I have a better chance if I can get on a transplant list. And so I think the way that it works is that you pick like where you want to have the transplant operation done, and then once you do that, like, she had to go through, so you get on the transplant list, and then once you like are so far on the transplant list and you are at the place that you're going to get the transplant, and you've gone through, like, she had to go through all of this like rehab, like she had to go to all these classes for like weeks on end to be prepared to like what to do, what to expect afterwards, like how to handle it. She had to do all that kind of stuff. But before that, she really wanted to pick like where she was going to go, and so she looked at a couple different places. I think she looked at 4 different major hospitals. I know Cleveland Clinic was one of them, and Duke was the other, and she chose Duke. So, the end of November, I think, she moved to North Carolina with her mom, and her sister came. And they didn't see anybody because of COVID and all that kind of stuff, so she was pretty much like isolated. She got an apartment there, and just basically waited for the transplant. And I think we got the call like 3 or 4 times, maybe, that they were going to the hospital for the transplant. She went through all the classes. She did all that stuff. She was there for a really long time. She went through... Well, hold on a second. So today is her 6-month anniversary of her transplant. So January 21st was when she had it. Between like November, whenever, I think maybe she went out there in October. I think maybe she went out there in October. I don't remember when she went out there, but she took the classes, she did all that. But like she got called in like 4 times for trial errors. Like, and then she would get there and they would say like, well, the lung isn't a match, or the lungs aren't a match, or whatever. She actually had a double, so Sarah had a double lung transplant, a full double lung transplant. And at first, her body rejected it, so it was really bad at first. And there's still a chance, like I think, like within 5 to 6 years, that your body can reject the lungs. And so anyway, she was just telling me tonight something about mold medicine that she has to take. It's not like from like mold in your house. It's something different. But anyway, she like took it and now she's feeling like much better. But like when she first came back, she just came back like a month ago. When she first came back, when she would talk to you, she would sound like this. And now she sounds like the old Sarah that I know. No, she hasn't been back for a month. She's been back for about 2 months because it was about 2 weeks ago that she went out into like a social place for the first time, that she had been approved that she could go into social settings for the first time in, I don't know, years, that she was approved to go because of, you know, how scary it was with COVID and things like that. And she has had to go back to Duke, I think, twice since she's been, I don't know when she got home now. Maybe she just went back to Duke once because she was really worried about she went back to see if things were going well or if it was going to be rejected. And they said things are going really well for her. So so that's the backstory of Sarah. We joke because back in the day when, you know, Sarah would be in pictures or whatever, you know, there would be people that like would say like mean comments, you know, like with Alex and I did a Q&A, they'd say, Alex is obviously interested in his best friend Sarah. He's like with her, you know, like, okay. This has been his best friend since he was like, you know, in high school. And she's just such a darling. She's such a sweetheart. And I'm really glad that she allowed me to share the story, because I know that there are so many of you that suffer from severe, you know, health issues and just keep on hanging on. Like, that's what she would tell you, because I can tell you there were so many times that, like, she would call us or FaceTime us or with Alex, and I would be in the background listening to it, that she just was like, I just can't keep on fighting. Like, I just can't keep on going to doctor's appointments, and I just can't keep on doing this anymore. Like, it's too much. And, you know, like, Alex would be real encouraging of her and be like, just, you can't stop. You can't, like, give up, you know? And she'd be like, but I'm so tired. Like, she was so tired. Like, so tired of trying, but just so tired in general, you know? And, like, it was really cool today when we were driving out to Alex's friend's house, because she was like, I said, you seem happy tonight. She's like, I feel good. She was like, I was thinking about this. She was like, because I could remember Alex's birthday last year, because we did it at the same person's house. And she was like, I didn't want to be there. She was like, I felt so miserable health-wise. And she said, and this year I feel really, really good. And she's like, and I can breathe, and I can do things that I haven't been able to do in years. And that's, you know, that's a miracle. She's a miracle. And I'm proud to call her my friend. She's a really strong, I feel proud that I have really strong, empathetic, compassionate people in my life, because never once when Sarah was going through that did she ever forget about Alex or her mom or sister or me, and, you know, always reach out and think about, like, you know, what we're going through, you know. And when you're going through hell, to still be of service to other people and think of them, I think is a really cool thing. So I don't know if any of you have suffered from similar things. What's interesting is we actually have another friend of ours that has the exact same thing as Sarah. She has pulmonary hypertension, but she doesn't have it. And Sarah and her have, like, talked, and they're like, because Sarah was, like, really involved in the forums and stuff, like, online, and she even, like, met people online. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I flew out to meet Mel, Sarah was out there at the same time. She had a wedding to go to, but she was also, like, connecting with this woman that she had become friends with through one of the PH forums because they were so helpful to her. She would say sometimes they kind of got her down because they, people would share like negative stories on there and stuff like that. But she was like, you at least have a community of people that have been through what you've gone through. So she and this friend of Alex's that she knew previous to that anyway, like they've talked a lot about things. But her health isn't. It's still not great, but it's not as bad as it was before. But Sarah said she posted something on Instagram today about it. I saw it, but I didn't read everything, so hold on a second. Maybe it was Facebook that she said she posted it on. Yeah, because I don't see it on her. She said, happy 6-month anniversary to my lungs. I wake up every day in awe. Well, she said lungarooskies. I wake up every day in awe of the things I can do again. It's truly amazing, and I'm beyond grateful for this gift. I do hope to receive a letter from my donor's family so I can properly give my gratitude. I'm also praying for all those currently fighting for some relief and progress in your own personal journeys. Keep pushing yourself. You are worth it, and those negative results will be bitch slapped by you. Now get out there, live, and handle your ish. XX. And she put on here, donate love, or donate life, lung transplant, organ donor, and pH aware, pulmonary hypertension. And it's a sign with her, and it says breathe deeply on it. So that's cool. It's a cool story. I'm really happy for her. We were so scared for her for so long. And not to say this like in any kind of way, but when I say that, sometimes I'll say to you guys, like, I have so much going on that, like, I can't tell you about because it's not mine to tell or it's personal or whatever. Like, I don't have a lot of people in my life. I have people in my life that have really personal stuff that's going on in their lives that it's not mine to share. It's not my story to tell, But that doesn't mean that me being their friend or me being in their life, like, it doesn't affect me or it doesn't, it just means that they didn't ask to be on YouTube. They didn't ask to be, so I respect their anonymity and all of that, and their confidentiality of their life and their stories. And sometimes it's big, like Sarah's story, and sometimes it's not. And, a year ago, she probably would have said, no, I would prefer you not talk about it. And today she's like, yeah, please do, and so there's a lot of things, though, I kind of wish that I could share with you guys, because I think the overall answer to it is hope. Don't ever let go of hope. Don't ever let go of even just a small morsel or, just a small shred of hope that you have in any given situation, because I think even if you just have a seedling of hope, that you can plant it and that's something to grow from. I really believe that. I really, really, truly believe that. That it's like, sometimes in my darkest hours, people would say, it's interesting to me, like, when YouTubers, like, they don't say this so much anymore, but back in the day, they would say, like, I was going through a dark time or whatever. Hell, we've all gone through dark times. Let's be for real, right? We've all gone through times where we thought, like, is it going to get any better? Is it ever going to get any better? And there's not one of us out there that hasn't felt that. And I think it's kind of selfish to think that you are. Like, when you think, oh, like, my situation's the absolute worst, It's like, that's why I'm, like, so, like, I'm just in awe of Sarah. Like, even when things were so bad for her, she was reaching out to others. It's like, like, that's inspiring to me. Like, I want to be that, And, but I think, like, in any time that I've ever gone through my life where I felt rather hopeless, where I felt like, does it ever get any better or whatever, in my entire life, it's like, there were moments where people gave me morsels of hope or just small seeds, just planting small seeds, you know? And I think, like, I look back on those moments, you know, like all of the years that I was bullied in high school and stuff, and it's like, I just did a video about that on my Peter Does Stuff video, by the way. But that one teacher, and it wasn't every year, it was maybe every fourth or fifth year, you know? That one teacher that was like really nice to me or took special consideration to me. And I knew why she did. I wasn't dumb, you know? It wasn't just like I knew she thought Peter was really cool and special. It was like, you know, there was a pity factor that came along with it sometimes. But even then, like, you know when people say, I don't want your pity? I think there's certain situations where it's not that pity feels good. It's like acknowledgement of your pain. It doesn't have to be pity. It can just be acknowledgement of your pain, that somebody else recognized that what you went through wasn't easy, you know? And like I was saying in my video the other day, it was like on my Peter Does Stuff channel, when, you know, I went to my therapist, or my old therapist, and he said to me, like, do you think that you could have possibly suffered any post-traumatic stress as a result of being bullied? It was the first time, like, in honestly, in my entire life. I mean, I had talked to people about being bullied. I mean, I had told my story a million times, you know, whatever. I didn't really feel like it was affecting me that greatly anymore. But, like, I was like, I never thought of it that way. And then I just remember, like, I kind of broke down a little bit. Because it was the first time that anybody had really validated how much pain I went through. And that was so comforting. And that was like, you know, like I said in my video, like, I don't want to be a victim the rest of my life. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I was bullied, you know, I was bullied, right? Like, that's why I was bullied, because so that was the way. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to live my life that, bugs. Ugh. Bugs. Is that God talking? I mean, I don't want to be that person that's like, you know, like, so, you know, I was bullied and that's why I am the way I am. Like, at some point, like, they become excuses, you know what I mean? Like, some of those things, if you choose to work on them, I feel like, not everything, but some things in my life, like, I can release myself from feeling like that, right? So, but to have somebody instill some hope, or plant a seed of hope, or plant a seed that better days are ahead, or you're going to see things in a different way, I think is huge, astronomical into change and growth. I really do, you know? And there's been so many people that, like, when things that I'm going through in my life, they'll say, like, one thing, and I'm like, even if it's just on, like, a certain day when I'm down, and they'll say, there's going to be a day not too long in the future when you're not hurting emotionally as much as you are about this today. And I'll be like, they're right. I don't know when that day is. I don't know how long that is, you know? It's like whenever I say this in a video, there's always one person that responds and says, I really needed to hear it. Well, where do you think that I heard this, what I'm about to say to you? I heard it from my sponsor. I heard it from my friends. I heard it from the people that love me in my life. You're going to be okay. Whoever you are out there that needs to hear that tonight, hold on. You're going to be okay. There's going to be a day that you wake up that things look brighter, that you see things in a different light. And if you need the morsel of hope from me, I'm telling you, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Trust me. You know? You're going to be okay. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to get off here. You're going to be okay. Remember that. Write it down on a piece of paper. Put it in your purse or your backpack, or put it on your computer screen, you know, or put it on your mirror. And if you need to read it as many times as you need to hear it, that's cool, you know. Just remind yourself of that until you believe it, until you start feeling it a little bit. You know, there's been months on end where I didn't feel like things were going to get any better than they were, you know. A lot of it was school. Now look, I'm sitting on a video talking about it, you know. If you had told me when I was 7th grade, walking through the halls of school, and nobody was talking to me, and I felt like I was invisible, and I thought there's no point for me to even be here, and I am worthless, I am useless, I am unlovable, and nobody cares about me, and why am I even existing? You know? If you had said to me then, 35 years down the road, you're going to be talking about this well, first of all, we didn't have YouTube, but you're going to be talking about this in a video, talking to people and telling about this experience, and that you got through it, and that's not the condition of your life today, and you have a lot of people that love you, and you are very lovable, and you do matter, and you are good enough, and you are worthy, I would never have believed it. So whatever you're going through tonight, or today, or whenever you're watching this, whatever you're going through, whatever is keeping you stuck because you just can't see out on the other side, this too shall pass, and you will, like Oprah says, you'll wake up and the sunlight of the Spirit will be shining again. I mean, there will be a day that things look maybe not 100% brighter, maybe not 80 or 60, but a little bit better than they look tonight, I need those morsels of hope. They help me. So anyway, with that, I'm going to get off here. I hope that you guys are having... I actually was only going to vlog for like a half an hour. I ended up vlogging for almost, 55 minutes. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a magical... I'm like rocking, do you see? Hello. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Wednesday. And remember these 3 important things. You can start your day over whenever you want. And I always forget, like as I'm talking, I'm like, okay, I can't remember it. Practice random acts of kindness, but don't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And I love you guys so much. I had a really great time talking to you tonight. So until tomorrow, I'll see you again. I love you. I love you. What do I say? I love you. Bye. I love you. Bye.